Hello guys, how are you? So I'm gonna do my own UFC prediction for UFC 275 Glover Teixeira versus Prochazka, which is going to be held in Singapore. So this is a full card prediction. I'm kind of new. I'm kind of new with the MMA and UFC, to be honest. I've been watching it for like a year ago. I used to watch The Ultimate Fighter, like it was Royce Gracie and Shamrock's time. Yeah, that old, but I stopped watching, and then just recently watched UFC back. So I'm gonna do a prediction. So the first fight, this is a full card prediction, by the way, the first fight is between Jocelyn Edwards and versus Ramona Pascual. So I checked their previous fights, and my prediction is I'm gonna go with Jocelyn Edwards here. But it's hard to bet on this fight because obviously there's low-level MMA, which is a little bit unpredictable. But I think Edwards has a, let me check, reach advantage, I think. Just to make sure, I'm gonna check topology here. Yes, so Jocelyn Edwards has a reach advantage, and she has more fights in the UFC than Ramona Pascual. By the way, it's pronounced as Pascual. And yeah, and I've checked the previous fights. Ramona is usually brings down her opponents to the mat. And I think Jocelyn Edwards can fight with distance with her reach advantage. So I think I'm gonna edge out. I'm gonna give this fight to Edwards, Jocelyn Edwards. I'm picking Jocelyn Edwards. Now the next fight is between Silvana Juarez and Na Liang, Dragon Girl. So I think Na Liang will beat Silvana Gomez Juarez. I've checked Silvana's previous fights, and I don't see anything special from her. Like, she can fight, maybe she can fight a little, but I didn't see anything special at all. Na Liang, I watched her fight with Arian Canelosi. Although the fight didn't go to distance, but he knocked Arian Canelosi first. Like, he punched her, yeah, but then I think she gassed out in the second round or something. But I thought she was winning at first, and she couldn't finish Arian Canelosi. So, but I think she's much younger as well than Silvana, so I think she's gonna win. So the next fight is between Kyoho Kang versus Dana Batgerel. I've been following Dana Batgerel since his fight with let me check, Guido Canetti. He has a very strong striking. He's good in striking. He's a stand-up guy. So although Kyoho Kang has been inactive for a while as well, his last fight was in 2021. He got beaten by Rani Yaya. And I checked his previous fights. He's more of a kind of grappling guy. And I think Batgerel Dana or Dana Batgirl will beat him. Dana packs a very powerful punch. He usually just moves forward. In his previous fight, it's just that he was just it was an what they call this? He was always moving forward, and Chris Gutierrez had a spinning back fist, so it was well planned actually, because sorry about that. Since Dana gives always pressure to his opponent, so yeah, that's why he got hit by the spinning back fist. But I think he's gonna beat Kyung Ho Kang here. The next fight is between Andre Fiallo and Jake Matthews. So I picked Jake Matthews because I think he's a little bit underrated. Andre Fiallo is quite good. I had problems picking this fight because they're quite good, I think. But I think Jake Matthews is more scrappy, more active, I think. Yeah, he's more like, he moves a lot in the octagon. Although a lot of people sided with Andre Fiallo because he's on a roll right now. He's quite good as well. But his previous fight with Van Camp, Van Camp was like, can fight him at first. It's just that I think Andre Fiallo is just more what they call this, more experienced. That's why he beat Van Camp. Van Camp didn't have a proper defense and stand-up game, so that's it. But I think Jake Matthews can beat him because Jake Matthews is a little bit scrappy as well. He moves a lot. He's very active on the inside the octagon. So the next fight is between Mahashate versus Steve Garcia. So this one's a pick 'em fight, I think, as well. I checked the previous fights and they're both good. But this one's Mahashate's first fight, I think. The UFC. Yeah, he came from the Contender Series. I saw his previous fight in the Contender Series and he was good. But Steve Garcia is good as well. But I'm picking Steve Garcia over Mahashate due to the experience. Usually what happens in UFC is that they bring in some new prospects, and then usually it depends on the opponent, if it's going to be just a bunch of cans or fighters who are quite good. So I think Steve Garcia is good enough to beat Mahashate. So the next fight is Seung Woo Choi versus Joshua Kulibao. So I actually picked Choi, but you cannot Kulibao's a live dog. He's good as well. It's just that Choi is more lengthy, I think, and Kulibao is a bit sometimes he's just little bit loose, but actually almost beat Charles Jourdain there. He was quite good, but I think Seung Woo Choi is gonna beat him. And the next fight is between Brendan Allen versus Jacob Malkoun. So I'm picking Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is much bigger. He's much experienced and much, I think, technique-wise, he's much better than Malkoun. Next fight is Jack Della Maddalena and Ramazan Emeev. So I'm picking Della Maddalena. He's better than Emeev, I think. He packs more power than Emeev, a little more. Emeev's a quite technical fighter, but I think Jack Maddalena is going to beat him. Next is Rogerio Bontorin versus Manel Cape. So I'm picking Cape. He's on a roll as well right now. Manel Cape is quite good. Very, very intelligent fighter, I think. And he has a very good flying knee. Although Botarin is quite good as well. I don't think this will finish in a round, in first round. Maybe second, I think, or I think further than the first round. Both of them are quite good, but I'm picking Manel Cape. Next is Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jurjic. I don't know. I forgot how to pronounce her last name, but yeah, JJ. Let's call her JJ. This is their second fight, and their first fight was really awesome. It was like, it was an all-out war. JJ deformed. There was a deformation in her head or face, and it was like, but they're both really good. And JJ, I think I like JJ's striking more than Weili, but the thing is, Weili is more active than JJ. JJ's last fight, Joanna's last fight was their fight with Weili, and yeah, that's her last fight. And Weili just had a fight with Thug Rose, but yeah, Weili's more active, so I'm picking Weili. Next fight is Dalia Santos versus Valentina Shevchenko. So Valentina Shevchenko, I think she's the most dominant female fighter right now. I know people keep telling Amanda Nunes, although there might be some miracle, or I don't know, man, but I remember the Amanda Nunes fight with Pena last time, and everyone was like, this was like the feeling that we have, like nobody can beat Amanda. But then it happened. So I really like Shevchenko. I even like Shevchenko than Amanda, but I really hope she can beat Talia Santos. I hope she stays unbeaten until she retires. So, although there's another prospect, Manon Ferro, that could potentially beat her, I think. But I haven't seen Manon Ferro doing wrestling and grappling, because she always beat her opponent standing up. But yeah, going back to the topic, I think Valentina's gonna win this fight. Everyone thinks Valentina's gonna win this fight. Yeah, but I have Talia's okay, but you know, it's Valentina Shevchenko, so yeah. So the next the final match, or the main event, main card, is between Glover Texeira, the champion, versus Yuri Prochazka. So Yuri's a really powerful guy. His striking is really, really powerful. No questions asked. He's really tough. Packs a really powerful punch. But I'm picking Glover Texeira because nobody expected Glover to beat Jan. I mean, some might, but it was there were more people that believed Jan Blachowicz would beat Glover that time, and they were shocked. So Glover's a really good fighter. He's an underdog in this fight, but I think I haven't seen Yuri on the mat wrestling and grappling, so I don't know yet what's gonna happen. But I think if Glover can grapple him, like, you know, like Charles Oliveira, it's more like a Charles Oliveira versus Gaethje, like that kind of match. You know, if they can grapple, these Brazilians can grapple, it will be really, really dangerous. So I think Glover's gonna win this fight. So that's it, guys. By the end of the week, I'm gonna tally all the scores from different YouTube MMA analysts. Like the other week, and shout out to mma-guru for man, he won. I mean, he predicted everything correctly, so 100%. If I only had bet on that, I would. Oh man, that was a really big win if you bet all of his fighters on that card. So that's it, guys. See you next week.